Why Franklin's wisdom still matters today. Eat to please thyself, but dress to please others. What you eat is personal. It feeds your body and soothes your soul. It doesn't need to be Instagram-worthy or approved by others. Eating is about comfort, health, and preference. But how you dress? That's a different story. The way you dress speaks before you do. It tells people how you carry yourself, how much you respect the situation, and how aware you are of your surroundings. Dressing poorly might cost you opportunities. Dressing thoughtfully could open doors. Franklin's message is subtle but powerful. Live for yourself, but dress with the awareness that you live among others. Presentation isn't vanity, it's communication. You don't need designer clothes. You just need to dress in a way that says, I know where I am, and I care. In a world that sees before it listens, your outfit is often your first sentence. Hide not your talents. They for use were made. Benjamin Franklin. Talent is a gift, but if you hide it, leave it untouched, it's as if it never existed. Franklin reminds us, your talents aren't meant for decoration. They were made to serve, to help, to build, to bring value to your life and others. So many people are gifted with words, with ideas, with compassion, with vision. But fear holds them back. Fear of failure, of judgment, of not being good enough. And in hiding their gifts, they don't just limit themselves, they rob the world of what they could have offered. You don't need to be perfect to begin. You just need the courage to show up. Even a small action brings your talent to life. Franklin encourages us. The world doesn't need more hidden brilliance. It needs you fully, you doing what you're capable of, even if it's messy, even if it's scary. Work as if you were to live 100 years. Pray as if you were to die tomorrow. This quote is one of Franklin's most profound, because it speaks of balance between long-term vision and present-day awareness. Work as if you were to live 100 years. In other words, don't rush. Don't cut corners. Build slowly, carefully, and with purpose. Invest in things that matter. Take the time to do it right, because life is a marathon, not a sprint. But also, pray as if you were to die tomorrow. That means live with humility, gratitude, and presence. Don't wait to say, I love you. Don't postpone forgiveness. Don't assume you'll always have time, because sometimes tomorrow never comes. Franklin is teaching us how to live fully, with the patience of someone who believes in the future, and the urgency of someone who treasures the present. A false friend and a shadow attend only while the sun shines. Some people show up in your life when everything's going well. You're successful, you're happy, you're shining. They seem loyal, ever present until the storm hits. Franklin compares a false friend to a shadow always around when the sun is shining. But when clouds roll in and the light disappears, so do they. This isn't about doubting everyone. It's about noticing. Who's still standing with you when you have nothing to offer? Who doesn't need your success to call you friend? True friendship isn't tested in good times. It's revealed in the worst ones when you're tired, lost, or broken. That's when you see who stays. Franklin reminds us, don't judge your friendships by who laughs with you in the sun. Judge them by who holds the umbrella when the rain begins to fall. A good conscience is a continual Christmas. Think about Christmas, the warmth, the peace, the feeling of coming home. It's a time when hearts soften, forgiveness comes easier, and joy feels more real. We wait all year for that magical atmosphere. But what if you didn't have to wait? Franklin tells us that when your conscience is clear, that Christmas feeling, peace, joy, lightness, can be with you every day. Peace doesn't come from things, it comes from living with integrity. When your actions align with your values, when you don't have to hide from yourself, your heart stays light, like it's glowing with holiday spirit. A clear conscience can't be bought. It can't be faked. It's something you earn through honesty, kindness, and doing what's right, even when no one's watching. So live in a way that your soul stays calm, your nights stay restful, and your joy isn't tied to a season. Let every day feel like Christmas, not with lights or music, but with truth, clarity, and peace of mind.
A penny saved is a penny earned. Benjamin Franklin.
This quote may sound simple, but it holds timeless wisdom. In a world obsessed with making more, Franklin reminds us to pay attention to what we spend. A dollar saved today is a dollar you don't have to earn tomorrow. Saving isn't about being stingy. It's about being intentional. It's about knowing what truly matters. You can have a high income, but if your spending is out of control, you'll always feel broke. On the other hand, someone who respects every cent often reaches financial freedom faster. Franklin teaches us a core truth. Wealth doesn't start with earning more. It starts with spending smart. Stability isn't built from what you gain, but from what you keep. Being ignorant is not so much a shame as being unwilling to learn. You're allowed to not know. Seriously, no one is born knowing everything. We grow, stumble, and learn piece by piece. That's part of being human. Franklin doesn't shame ignorance. He warns against stubbornness. The problem isn't lack of knowledge. The real issue is when someone refuses to learn, won't listen, and avoids growth. When you ignore new ideas or deny truth, that's the real loss. We don't lack information. We often lack open minds, humility, and the will to learn. No matter your age or background, as long as you're willing to grow, you're still moving forward. Franklin reminds us, people don't judge you for not knowing. They judge when you choose not to learn. And every time you choose curiosity over pride, you become wiser than you were yesterday. Beware of little expenses. A small leak will sink a great ship. We often think danger comes from big things, failed investments, massive losses, major life setbacks. But Franklin points to something subtler, the small, ignored problems that slowly destroy everything. A grand, well-built ship can withstand storms. But if it has one tiny leak and no one fixes it, it can sink. Not from the sea's rage, but from the quiet neglect of something small. In personal finance, it's the same. A daily $4 coffee, unused subscriptions, impulse shopping, tiny expenses, repeated often, can quietly drain your budget without you noticing. Franklin's deeper wisdom is, success isn't just about earning more. It's about guarding what you have. And it goes beyond money. In relationships, work, health, small cracks left unaddressed can bring down the strongest of structures. Never underestimate the little things, because sometimes they carry the power to undo everything. Diligence is the mother of good luck. Benjamin Franklin. We often look at successful people and say, they're lucky. But Franklin saw deeper. Behind every stroke of luck is quiet, consistent effort. Luck isn't random. It favors those who are diligent, persistent, and always prepared when opportunity knocks. The diligent don't wait for miracles. They create the conditions for them. You may not control fate, but you do control your daily actions. And those steady, patient steps you take, they attract the very luck others admire. Franklin redefines luck. It's not something that just happens. It's a reward, given to those who show up, do the work, and keep showing up, even when no one is watching. And here's the secret. The harder you work, the luckier you seem to get. Because you're ready, present, and positioned for the best things life has to offer. Do not anticipate trouble or worry about what may never happen.
We, as humans, often worry about things that haven't happened. It might be a meeting, a conversation, or even just a possibility we've made up in our heads.
Franklin gently reminds us, most of what we fear never actually happens. We invent worst-case scenarios, play them on repeat, and exhaust ourselves over things that aren't even real yet. Worry doesn't fix tomorrow. It only steals peace from today. The good news? You don't have to solve every problem in advance. Your job is to stay present. and trust that when real issues arise, you'll be ready. Franklin isn't denying that life has challenges. He's telling you not to live inside the fear of what might go wrong. Give your mind space to breathe. Let yourself live fully in this moment, the only place where peace can actually exist. Eat to please thyself, but dress to please others. Benjamin Franklin. Franklin's quote may sound funny at first, but it touches something deep about how we move between the personal and the social. When you eat, it's for you. It's about your health, your taste, your comfort. No one judges what you like on your plate, but when you step outside, what you wear becomes a form of communication. It tells people you care about yourself, about the occasion, about fitting into the space around you. Franklin isn't telling you to be fake. He's reminding us we don't live in a vacuum. Dressing with awareness doesn't mean chasing trends. It means understanding the moment you're in. So yes, please yourself inside, but outside, be aware enough to connect, because the world often sees your image before it hears your words. Energy and persistence conquer all things. Talent is great, intelligence is useful, but without persistence, they remain unused potential. Franklin believed that no obstacle is too big if you have enough energy to start and enough persistence to keep going. Life doesn't reward the fastest starter. It rewards the one who doesn't quit. There will be days when you're tired, moments when everything feels pointless. But in those moments, if you take just one more step, you're building strength that most people never touch. Energy begins the journey, but persistence finishes it. Every skill, every dream, every breakthrough is possible if you don't stop. Franklin isn't being idealistic. He's being real. Greatness doesn't come from bursts of inspiration. It comes from steady effort, day after day. He that can have patience can have what he will. In life, we often desire quick success. However, Franklin reminds us that patience is the key to lasting achievement. Patience doesn't mean passive waiting. It means actively progressing, slowly but surely. Like the mouse that persistently gnawed at the rope, eventually severing it. If you're pursuing a goal, learning a new skill, building a career, or improving yourself, remember, patience and perseverance will help you overcome any challenge. He that is good for making excuses is seldom good for anything else. Some people always have a reason. I don't have time. I'm not ready. It's the circumstances. It wasn't my fault. Franklin puts it bluntly. If you're great at making excuses, you rarely have energy left for anything else. Excuses kill action. They feel good in the moment, but cost you long-term growth. When you constantly make excuses, you're quietly telling yourself, I'm not in charge of my life. Franklin isn't judging. He's encouraging us to be more honest. Maybe you don't know how. Maybe you're scared. But what you need isn't another excuse. It's a choice. Remember, no one ever succeeded because of a clever excuse. Success comes to those who face the truth, take ownership, and do something, even small. Because every time you act instead of excuse, you build a life that's stronger, clearer, and more real. If passion drives you, let reason hold the reins. Benjamin Franklin. Passion is what makes us feel alive. It lights up our eyes, energizes our hearts, and gives purpose to each day. But Franklin offers a wise warning. If passion is your engine, reason must steer. He compares passion to a powerful horse, fast, wild, unstoppable. And reason, that's the hand holding the reins, keeping you from charging off a cliff. We need passion so we don't live dull lives. But we need reason to turn that passion into real outcomes, not just beautiful dreams that burn bright, then disappear. Franklin isn't telling you to shut off your emotions. He's saying, let your heart soar, but keep your feet grounded. Let passion be the fuel, but reason the map. Because only when both ride together can you move forward with fire and direction. In this world, nothing can be said to be certain, except death and taxes. This quote may sound grim, but it's actually full of clarity. Franklin isn't just talking about death and taxes. He's reminding us that life is uncertain, and that's exactly why we must stay grounded. You can plan everything, try to predict the future, but life shifts constantly. Opportunities come and go, people change, markets move, emotions rise and fall. Almost nothing is guaranteed, except two things: death and taxes. Franklin isn't trying to scare us, he's helping us focus. Because if nothing is certain, then we must live with awareness, prepare for the inevitable, and embrace the unpredictable. Instead of clinging to control, learn to adapt. Instead of resisting reality, face it with calm and responsibility. The deeper message is, once you accept that nothing is guaranteed, you stop fearing and start living with purpose, preparation, and gratitude. Life's tragedy is that we get old too soon and wise too late. We've all said it at some point. I wish I'd known that earlier. Franklin captured a quiet human tragedy: we age too quickly and understand too late. In our youth, we think we know enough. We rush into life, experiment, stumble, but rarely stop to reflect. And by the time we start to get it, what matters, what to let go of, what to hold on to, time feels less abundant. Franklin isn't blaming. He's gently awakening us. He's saying, start living with awareness now. Learn, listen, reflect, while you still have the energy to grow, to change, to begin again. Because wisdom that comes too late often arrives with regret. Start your wisdom early, not by age, but by how intentionally you choose to live each day. With reflection, with humility, and with gratitude. Lost time is never found again. Benjamin Franklin. In life, time is our most precious asset. We can lose money or miss chances, but once time is gone, it's gone for good. We often feel we're running out of time, yet we let it slip by, distracted, overwhelmed, or thinking we'll get to it later. But as Benjamin Franklin reminds us, lost time is never found again. You might skip a day, a week, or a year, believing you'll catch up, but you won't. The past is permanent. The only time you can truly act is now. So don't delay what matters. If there's something you care about, a dream, a skill, a relationship, take that step today. You don't need to rush, but you do need to begin. Because while we can fix mistakes or change paths, lost time never returns. Every moment counts. Use it wisely, and you'll build a life with fewer regrets and more meaning. Never leave that till tomorrow, which you can do today. We've all said it, I'll do it tomorrow. But then tomorrow comes, with new distractions, new excuses, and the same unfinished task. Franklin's not just talking about time management. He's speaking to our habits, our tendency to delay growth. When you put something off, you don't just postpone the task. You postpone the life that comes with completing it. Today, you have the chance, the energy, and the opportunity. Tomorrow? Who knows? Don't wait for the perfect mood. Don't wait until you feel ready. Action creates momentum. Waiting creates regret. Franklin's wisdom is a push toward progress, because when you stop delaying, you start living. Sell not virtue to purchase wealth, nor liberty to purchase power. In life, we are often tempted by immediate gains, wealth, status, power. But Franklin warns us, if we trade away virtue and liberty to obtain these, we lose the very essence of our humanity. Virtue is the foundation of trust and respect. Abandoning virtue for wealth may bring material gain, but it erodes the respect and trust of others. Liberty is the right to live justly and pursue happiness. Sacrificing liberty for power may grant control over others, but it enslaves us to our own ambitions and the need to dominate. Franklin reminds us, wealth and power are transient, but virtue and liberty are enduring values. Cherish and protect them, for they are the true foundations of a meaningful and lasting life. To succeed, jump as quickly at opportunities as you do at conclusions. Have you ever noticed how fast we jump to conclusions, but how slowly we act on opportunities? We judge people, situations, even ourselves in seconds. But when a real chance shows up, we hesitate, we stall, and we miss it. Franklin flips the script. Act on opportunities as quickly as you jump to conclusions. Opportunity doesn't knock twice. It doesn't wait for your full confidence. It comes and goes. And success often goes to those who say yes before they're fully ready. We need to train ourselves to be bold and responsive, to see a door opening and move toward it with courage and clarity. Franklin isn't asking you to be reckless. He's asking you to trust yourself, because some chances don't return. They reward the ones who act, not just the ones who think. The Constitution only gives people the right to pursue happiness. You have to catch it yourself. You have the right to dream, to seek joy, peace, fulfillment. But Franklin makes a powerful point. The right to pursue happiness is not a guarantee to receive it. The Constitution or any set of laws can open the door, but you have to walk through it. You have to chase happiness, choose it, and work for it. Happiness doesn't fall from the sky. It doesn't live in your paycheck, your title, or your relationship status. Happiness is a journey, one you must walk, with intention and courage. Franklin is saying, don't wait for happiness to knock on your door. It's something you must move toward. It's a pursuit, an effort, and a deeply personal one. And one day, when you look back, you'll realize happiness wasn't the prize at the end. It was woven into every step you dared to take with purpose. The doors of wisdom are never shut. Benjamin Franklin. Have you ever thought it's too late to start something new? Too late to learn, to grow, or to change direction? If you've ever felt that, remember Franklin's words. The doors of wisdom are never shut. Wisdom isn't limited by age, background, or circumstance. There is no cutoff point, no moment where the opportunity to learn ends. As long as you're willing to ask questions, explore, and stay curious, the door stays open. In today's world, information is everywhere. Courses, books, mentors, communities. Knowledge is one click away. What matters is not your age or status, but your willingness to grow. Franklin reminds us, there's no perfect time to begin. Every single day is a chance to become wiser than yesterday. No matter where you are, there is always another step forward, always more to understand. The door isn't locked, it's waiting. All you have to do is walk through it. 3 may keep a secret if 2 of them are dead. This quote sounds dark, even a little morbid, but Franklin is cleverly revealing a timeless truth. Secrets rarely stay secret once they're shared. We often believe that trusting the right person is enough. But people talk, out of pressure, weakness, habit, or simply the need to feel connected. Franklin isn't telling us to isolate ourselves. He's reminding us that every time you share something private, you gamble with trust. And the more people who know, the greater the chance that it won't stay hidden. Secrets, big or small, represent our inner freedom. Sometimes, keeping something to yourself isn't about fear. It's about wisdom, because not everyone is meant to carry the weight of your truth. Franklin's message is simple but powerful. Be careful who you confide in. Choose your confidants wisely. And remember, sometimes silence is your most loyal companion. We are all born ignorant, but one must work hard to remain stupid. When we're born, we're all the same, blank slates. No one comes into this world wise or equipped with success, but the real difference is how we choose to grow, or not. Life constantly gives us opportunities to learn, from books, people, failure, and everyday experience. But ironically, some people work hard to stay exactly where they are. They resist new ideas, cling to outdated beliefs, and fear change. They avoid reading, reject questions, and refuse to admit they might be wrong. This ignorance doesn't come from a lack of opportunity. It comes from attitude. It's not accidental. It's intentional. It takes effort to stay uninformed in a world overflowing with knowledge. So this quote isn't just clever, it's a wake-up call. If you're not learning, you're falling behind, and staying in the dark is a form of effort too. You're either growing or you're working hard not to. When you're finished changing, you're finished. Benjamin Franklin. It sounds dramatic, but Franklin is hitting a deep truth. Life is change. Everything around us is changing: nature, technology, people. And if you stop evolving, you don't just fall behind, you stop becoming who you could be. We often fear change because it feels unsafe, but change is what keeps us alive, curious, growing. If you stop learning, stop listening, stop adjusting, then you're not just standing still, you're fading. And when you stop growing, you start ending. Franklin isn't threatening, he's inviting you to take one small new step, to think a little differently, to try something uncomfortable. Because growth doesn't require giant leaps. It only needs motion, steady, honest motion forward. Without continual growth and progress, such words as improvement, achievement, and success have no meaning. Benjamin Franklin. Success isn't a fixed destination. It's not a finish line you cross and then stop. Because the moment you stop growing, everything you've achieved starts to lose its meaning. You might reach a milestone, a great job, a big award, a comfortable life. But without continuous learning and progress, what you have today will slowly become outdated. Improvement is what sustains success. Progress is what renews it. Without those, words like achievement and success become hollow. They're just snapshots from the past. Franklin reminds us, true success isn't just about reaching the top, but about staying sharp, relevant, and alive once you get there. You must keep moving forward, because in a changing world, standing still is the fastest way to fall behind. Work as if you were to live 100 years. Pray as if you were to die tomorrow. This quote holds two seemingly opposite ideas. Yet together, they form a perfect way to live. Work as if you'll live 100 years. Build. Contribute. Be patient with your path. Don't rush. Pour your effort into things that last. Work like you have time to grow, time to learn, time to leave behind something meaningful. But also, pray as if you'll die tomorrow. Be present. Be grateful. Say what matters. Don't wait to love, to forgive, to say thank you. Live like this moment might be your last. Franklin offers us a beautiful formula. 1 part for the future, 1 part for the soul. Because the best life is one where you have a vision to chase and a heart that's fully alive. Right now. Love your enemies, for they tell you your faults. Benjamin Franklin offers a radically different perspective. Be grateful even to those who dislike you, because they're often the ones who reveal your flaws most honestly. Friends or loved ones might soften their words to protect your feelings, but enemies have no such filter. They criticize freely, sometimes harshly. And within those criticisms, there may be truths you need to hear to grow. Franklin isn't encouraging hatred. On the contrary, he urges us to transform criticism into fuel for self-improvement. This approach builds calmness, humility, and a sharper ability to self-reflect. Loving your enemies doesn't mean embracing negativity. It means recognizing the hidden gift in even the harshest feedback. When you stop reacting and start listening, you turn opposition into opportunity. So love your enemies not because they're kind, but because they unknowingly help you become better. That's wisdom in its most unexpected form. Speak little, do much. Benjamin Franklin. Benjamin Franklin's quote, "Speak little, do much," carries a powerful message. Our true worth lies not in what we say, but in what we do. In an age where words are everywhere and promises are easy to make, action is what separates talkers from achievers. Talking without doing leads to lost trust. On the other hand, people who speak modestly but consistently take action earn genuine respect. Franklin doesn't dismiss the importance of words, he simply reminds us that words should reflect our actions, not replace them. Action is the clearest language of intention, discipline, and results. This quote encourages us to be more grounded, to focus less on impressing others with what we plan to do, and more on showing the world what we're actually doing. In the end, action speaks louder, lasts longer, and builds stronger credibility than any promise ever could. How to apply these quotes in modern life. Subscribe for more wisdom videos.